Welcome back, class. And what we are going to learn now is to calculate the area of a square, a rectangle, a triangle, and a circle. The area is the space or room a flat or plane shape takes up. So it may also mean that the amount of surface a shape covers. For example, if an area being calculated has lengths in centimeters, it will be in units of centimeters squared. These are the formulas that we will be using to calculate the areas of these shapes. Notice on this side here, we have a little key. So S is equal to side, L is length, W is width, R is radius, H is height, or B is base or breadth, right? The formula for the area of a square is S side squared, so that is side by side. And this would be, whether it's centimeters, meters, kilometers, millimeters, the unit will always be squared. Next, we have area is equal to length by width. Again, the area will be squared. So whether it's meters or, actually, no, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. So we have length multiplied by width for rectangle, and then we have pi. So remember, pi from this constant is what we're using to represent pi and calculate pi. So area of a circle is equal to pi multiplied by r squared, and r we know is the radius. Area of a triangle is 1/2 multiplied by breadth, which is this, or base, which is this length here, multiplied by the height of the triangle. So let's look at some examples, right? Here we have, if a square has a perimeter of 20 centimeters, what is its area? Now we have 60 millimeters, and we have 22. We also have calculate the area of the shapes below. So let's look at these examples. So these are the questions here, and I put them on separate slides so that you can practice them when on your own apart from class. So here we have the area of a square. So we're doing the first question first. If a square has a perimeter of 20 centimeters, what is its area? The first thing we are going to do here, and I'm actually going to do it right here. We're going to find out what is the side of the square. So perimeter is equal to side multiplied by 4. So we need to, in order for us to find out the area of the square, we need to multiply we need to find the side. So we know the perimeter here is 20 is equal to 4 multiplied by side. Therefore, we make side the subject of the formula like we did previously. So you get 20 divided by 4, which is equal to 5 centimeters. So the square has a side of 5 centimeters. And we know that area of a square is side multiplied by side, or side squared. So 5 squared is 25 centimeters squared. If you need me to go through this, just tell me and I'll do it on the whiteboard. Do you understand this, guys?
Yes, miss.
Yes, we do.
Okay, great. Moving on. We want to find the area of these two shapes. So we're just going to be plugging in our values. This is the height, this is the base, or this is the breadth. So we know the area of a triangle is 1/2 multiplied by base by height. So 1/2 multiplied by 22 multiplied by 15, which will give us 165 centimeters squared. And why do we have a centimeter squared? It's because it's centimeter multiplied by centimeter, and anything multiplied by itself is squared. If you multiply it 3 times, it's cubed. And that is why we'll always have, whether this is centimeters, meters, millimeters, or kilometers, when we're dealing with area, it's always going to be squared. And look, here is a perfect example. Gosh, I forgot to put this in black. Right, so our radius is 16 millimeters. We have area is equal to pi multiplied by 2. In this case, pi is equal to 3.1415 multiplied by 16 squared. And 16 squared is simply 16 multiplied by 16. This gives us 804.25 millimeters squared. And millimeters squared because millimeter multiplied by millimeter will give us millimeter squared. Any questions?
No, miss.
Kimoy? Kimoy, Kadeja, do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, you can explain some about the squared,
Okay, sure.
please.
Okay. So let me stop sharing the screen here for a bit. Let me share instead the whiteboard. So we're going back to the whiteboard. So our formula, are you talking about for radius squared, correct?
Yeah, I understand everything else, but I don't know where I get it squared from. Why you
Right.
have to put the square on top?
Because that is the formula.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So its area is equal to pi multiplied by r squared. That is just the formula to find the area of a circle. You still want me to go through it?
Thanks.
Okay then, sure. Right. So area is equal, area of a circle is equal to pi, which is 3.1415 multiplied by r squared or radius squared. And radius squared simply means radius multiplied by radius. In our example here, we had 16 millimeters as the radius. So that's the pattern. So area of circle is equal to 3.1415 multiplied by 16 millimeters multiplied by 16 millimeters. So area of circle is equal to 804.25 millimeters, right? 804.25 millimeters squared. Unfortunately, I can't make these squared. Let me see if I could go. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I can't make this squared small. So this is how we got 8.05 millimeter squared. So 16 multiplied by 16 will give us 16 squared, which is the same as, let me pull up the calculator. 16 multiplied by 16 will give us 256. And then we multiply 256 by 3.1415. That gives us our 804.25. And the reason why we have millimeters squared instead of just millimeters is because we are multiplying millimeter by millimeter. Anything that you multiply by itself will be squared. Do you understand now, Kadeja?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now what we want to do, I'm going to just stop sharing for a bit. Right. So what we want to do is practice some questions, and I'm gonna give you guys some questions. I'm gonna send screenshots of the questions into the WhatsApp group, and I want you to practice these questions for the next half hour. So I'm just gonna take all the screenshots of the questions and send it, and then we are gonna come back in at the last. I will end the meeting because it will cut off at 40 minutes. So you guys, I am ending the meeting after this. I want you guys to work on these questions for the next half hour, and I will start back the meeting at 7:30. Please be there and we will go through the corrections together. Understood?
Yes, miss.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm sending the questions in the group.